Top 10 Unforgettable Olympic Moments. Every time the Olympic Games are held, competitors are presented with yet another chance to make history. The vast majority of the time, it consists of the competitors standing on the podium with a gold medal draped around their necks. On the other hand, there are situations in which those moments of complete and utter brilliance can frequently originate from somewhere else entirely, beyond just a historically significant win. In this video, we will go through a list of the top 10 Olympic moments of all time. Have fun! Number 10. Bikula entered the annals of history by walking barefoot into the Olympic Games held in Rome in 1960. One of the most well-known marathon competitions in the game was one that Bikula, an Ethiopian runner, participated in. It had been only 4 years since Bikula had competed in his first marathon, and his Olympic debut was nearly derailed when he discovered that a new set of running shoes did not fit properly. After that, Bikula would be the one to decide to run the entire marathon without wearing any shoes. After spending the majority of the race in the leading pack, he eventually broke away at the final 500 meters to win the race and set a new world record in 2:15:16. This time was 25 seconds faster than the previous record, which was held by Radi Ben Abdesselam of Morocco. Number 9. The flawless sequence that Nadia Comaneci performed at the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal. Nadia Comaneci, a player from Romania, made her debut at the Olympic Games in Montreal when she was only 14 years old. Her routine on the uneven bars earned her a perfect score of 10, making her the first Olympic gymnast to achieve this feat since the competition began. After this, Comaneci would go on to record 6 more perfect 10s until she finished the Games with 3 gold medals. This was just the beginning of her success at the international competition. The gymnast, who was now a citizen of the United States, would compete once more in 1980, this time achieving 2 more perfect 10s and returning home with 2 gold medals, so becoming one of the most successful gymnasts in the history of the sport. Number 8. Michael Johnson's 2 gold medals from the Olympic Games held in Atlanta in 1996. Michael Johnson, an American sprinter, entered the 1996 Atlanta Games as a clear favorite to become the first male athlete to win both the 200-meter and 400-meter events. Johnson's performance at the 1992 Barcelona Games was disrupted by a bout of food poisoning, and he was the first athlete to ever win both events. After breaking a new Olympic record of 43.49 seconds in the 400-meter dash, Johnson would go on to win the gold medal in the event and then go on to create a new record in the 200-meter dash. To win his second gold medal and also to shatter his world mark by more than 0.3 of a second, Johnson would run a 200-meter race that was absolutely lightning fast. Up until Usain Bolt broke it in the 2009 World Championships, Johnson was the one who held the record for the longest time. Number 7. At the Olympic Games held in Athens in 2004, Great Britain won the relay competition. In what is considered to be the most competitive 4x100 relay race in the history of the Olympic Games, the 4 athletes from Great Britain, namely Jason Gardner, Darren Campbell, Mark Lewis Francis, and Marlon Devonich, raced their way to one of the most shocking results that the track and field competitions had ever witnessed. Following a boxed bat and handoff on the second leg, the Americans found themselves behind the 8 ball. Despite the efforts of Kobe Miller to chase down Lewis Francis on the home straight, the British were declared winners by just 0.01 seconds. Even though his lower leg and head crossed the line first, Lewis Francis's foot was grounded and therefore the winners were declared. The Americans were the favorites going into the final. Number 6. Flojo became the fastest woman in the history of the world at the Olympic Games held in Seoul in 1988. Florence Griffith Joyner, who was born in Los Angeles, established a new chapter in the annals of athletics history in Seoul by winning the gold medal in both the 100-meter and 200-meter events. Following the destruction of the world record at the United States Olympic Trials, she went on to establish a new Olympic mark of 10.62 seconds during the Games. Subsequently, she established a world record of 21.34 seconds in the 200-meter event, which is still in effect today. In the 4x100 and 4x400 events, respectively, she would also add gold and silver to an already impressive total. The sad death of Joyner occurred in 1998, while he was only 38 years old. Number 5. The Dream Team won the gold medal at the Olympic Games held in Barcelona in 1992. It was the first time that the United States of America sent a team of active NBA players to compete for Olympic gold at the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona. This team is widely considered to be the greatest sports team that has ever been built. The team was led by the legendary Michael Jordan, and it also included other notable players such as Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, and Magic Johnson, amongst others. Team United States of America entered the Games as undeniable favorites due to the presence of a large number of NBA players on their roster. They would go on to win gold against Croatia by averaging a victory margin of 44 points throughout 8 games. Number 4. Usain Bolt's meteoric climb to prominence on a global scale thanks to the Olympic Games in Beijing in 2008. During the Beijing Games, Jamaican athlete Usain Bolt, who is now widely considered to be the most renowned Olympian of all time, soared to worldwide stardom with a performance on the track that stole the show. On his way to winning gold in both the 100-meter dash and the 200-meter dash, Bolt made history by being the first athlete to hold the records for both events concurrently, since completely automatic timing became mandatory. It would be the beginning of a feast of gold medals as he repeated his winning ways in 2012 and 2016, culminating his Olympic career with 8 gold medals and becoming the most impressive athlete in the history of the sport. Number 3. At the Olympic Games in Sydney in the year 2000, Cathy Freeman demonstrated that aspirations may come true. The more the decade went on, the more Cathy Freeman, who was from Australia, became the first true competitor to the domination of Marie-Jose Perec, who was from France in the 400-meter dash. Freeman had made her breakthrough in the early 1990s. In the 1996 Atlanta Games, she competed against Perec and ended up losing to him for the gold medal. However, she did win silver and set a record for Australia, the time of 48.63 seconds. Perec abruptly left the Games due to what she said was harassment from strangers. The rematch between Sydney and Freeman was scheduled to take place on Sydney's respective home soil. Freeman would go on to win gold in a timing of 49.11 seconds, which was considered to be one of the most significant Olympic moments in the history of the country. The image of Freeman's celebration lap, which included both the Australian and Aboriginal flags, would be replayed for many years to come. Number 2. The ascent to stardom of Jesse Owens during the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. Jesse Owens, an African-American athlete, achieved accomplishments in the track and field sports at the Berlin Games that had never been witnessed before in the history of the Games. Owens' performance over the 7 days demonstrated that the Games should have been held despite the politically sensitive environment that was prompting controversy as to whether or not they should even go forward. Owens won the gold medal in the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, the long jump, and the 4x100-meter relay at the only Games he would ever compete in. Owens' performance in Berlin would be remembered for generations to come as the highest annual honor bestowed by the United States Athletics and Track and Field Association, USATF, would be dedicated in his honor. For the first time in Olympic history, Michael Phelps makes history at the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games. Known as the Baltimore Bullet, Michael Phelps, an American swimmer, is without a doubt the best Olympic athlete in the history of the sport. His heroic performance at the 2008 Beijing Olympics was a significant element in earning him the label of greatest Olympic athlete. Phelps would go on to win 8 gold medals in Beijing, beating the record set by fellow American swimmer Mark Spitz in 1972, who won 7 gold medals in Munich. Phelps' 8 gold medals came after he won 8 medals at the 2004 Athens Games, including 6 gold and 2 bronze. Phelps became a household celebrity as a result of this accomplishment, which was the greatest single sporting attempt on the Olympic stage. He would go on to win 9 gold and 2 silver medals at the London 2012 and Rio 2016 Games, bringing his career total to 28 Olympic medals. Phelps is still comfortably atop the medal leaderboard today, maintaining his position as the most successful athlete in Olympic history. So this is the end of our today's video. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.